Welcome everyone. I just wanted to give a channel update here. Um, so this is week 2 really of my little news experiment. Last week I did a couple of videos mostly around introducing this concept and talking a little. I did a couple forays into uh, just some commentary. Let me go to my videos here and I'll show you what I've uploaded so far to my recently to my channel. Um, so I basically and I'm logged in, so you might even see a couple of things that didn't get posted, including the one that's getting broadcast right now. Um, so basically, though, I did a channel introduction, which I'm gonna re-record probably later this week. One, there's a bug in that I actually restart a few seconds in, but also I've been learning a lot sort of this last week about the different channels I've been sort of following and just this whole little experiment in general. So I'm going to redo that one, I think, later this week. I did a live news tutorial, which was just focused on how to use the live news playlist that I'm curating right now. And then I also did a couple on CBC. This is just a little, I think it was a test run I stopped and didn't re-record. And like I said, so you can actually see I'm streaming live now. I do, and this is generally how I record these sessions. Is I do a live stream right to my channel. I'm gonna do a couple of tweaks to this process this week as well. Just I've been learning about live streaming. It's a relatively new concept on YouTube, and there are some intricacies and subtleties that I'm discovering that not everybody seems to have a close handle on, including some of these 24-hour news networks that I've been subscribing to, or adding to my playlist, like I said. How some of them stream their content in very different ways, because there's actually a fair bit of customizability there. For instance, you can stream so that a viewer can only watch the live thing. They can't do scan back or forward in the playback. Or you can turn that on, and then you can actually have effectively a sort of a PVR type thing. But you could even rewind back before when you started watching. So if I tuned in onto some of the channels I tune into, I can actually, like Al Jazeera's one that's like this. They stream 24/7, but if you go onto a channel, you can actually go back a few hours on the queue essentially of the live stream, and that's a special setting you have to turn on. And then another thing I've noticed is you can also set up a streaming channel so that even if you aren't streaming 24/7, you can actually create essentially a custom stream video that people can subscribe to, and similar to what I'm doing with my news playlist. And then even so that essentially that same link will work every time you go live, which is something that some channels do and some channels don't. Um, Anyway, so that's one of the projects I'm going to be working on this week. Another thing I'm going to be working on is just the graphics and sound and just video production of this little commentary process. I'm in the midst of reorganizing my office. I have an office a home office that I work out of, that I do my coding and I'm going to start doing some shooting, but I have to rearrange furniture and whatnot. But once I get that done, I got a camera set up. I'm going to start incorporating a live camera as well. But I also want to do, right now I produce a title card. So here I'll show you those. I use Inkscape, which is a free art tool software program. It's cross-platform. It's based off of originally a Linux application, but there are versions of it for every major operating system. A desktop anyway. So basically, what I do is I create a title card, which you see at the start of this video. Basically, I essentially work off of the same Inkscape project file, just going in here, highlighting the text, and just replacing it with whatever the text will be for the video. So, video text. You just fill that in, rearrange the text so it's nice and centered on screen, and then I just do an export. So there's actually an export here where I can export my file to a PNG file, and then I bring that PNG file into my streaming software, which I can show you briefly what the streaming software looks like. But it's going to make the screen look a little funny here, just because this is actually the OBS, the Open Broadcasting Studio. It's a free live streaming software. You can stream to any video service or at least all the major ones that provide a streaming service. So I can use the same software to not just stream to YouTube. I could also stream to Twitch, for instance, or probably Discord as well, or some of the other big platforms that are out there these days. But it's like I said, it's free. And what I'm going to do is I'll do a tutorial on this later this week, because just talking about how I can use OBS to produce an episode. Sorry, let me get my screen back here. So that's another video I want to do later this week. But anyway, I kind of got off track. What I was trying to say was I want to do some updated graphics as well. So that title card that you see, I also need to get a trailing title card that has my Twitter info, and I'm going to start, as I build up a video repository, I'll start embedding other videos you might be interested in, and apply links and stuff to that as well. The other thing I need to do is I also have to get some music going. I'd like to have, when I switch here, I'll switch back to my transition card here for a second just to show you. So when I start up my channel, my episode, it shows with this title card, which like I just showed you how I generated. I'd like to also play a little jingle to, a theme essentially. I need for this video programming. I want to create a bit of a theme. I have a couple of options on that. If I want to go the lazy route, I could probably find something that's free to use, licensing-wise, online. There are a lot of sources out there for music stings or free music and stuff that you can go and use. But what I was thinking was I might actually just do a small little composition myself using GarageBand, which is a Mac piece of software for making music. I think I could probably I don't need anything particularly complicated. It's something I could probably just write. But anyway, so that's another. I want to create some assets to sort of make up my video production quality a little bit. I also want to get some title cards, I think. So again, like this title card here, I'm also going to want to do some other sort of template cards that allow me to do maybe bullet points. So if I'm doing a commentary on a subject and I want to sort of keep reminders of the main subjects that I'm talking about, I could set something up like that. And I might even be able to look at doing some form of animation to it. That might involve scripting, which I might have to do a little bit of research in Open Broadcasting OBS and see exactly what my options are there. But I'd like to add a little more pizzazz to these videos. I'm an amateur videographer, but I do have a bit of a knowledge and passion for video production, so I like to up my game a little bit on that as well. But basically, yeah. So those are sort of the technical things I want to work on this week. Something I also want to put out a little bit of content for the channel, specifically around some of the news that I'm actually following, and this whole sort of hobby of being a news lurker. Watching the news and sort of disseminating it across the globe. So I've got a few different topics I'm thinking of, and I'm going to try and put a few of those out this week as well. And that's something I'm going to be for this next week or two. I'm going to be experimenting with different types of video formats. Just because I think this is something I could actually evolve as a channel and can turn it into something. There's real potential for it, I guess. Was what I'm talking about, and so I'd like to kind of experiment a little bit with a few different options, and maybe once I get these different videos put out, I'm going to reach out to some of my friends and some of the people that I know that are watching this, just to get a little bit of input, and I will actually be looking forward, public input as part of this. I want to build a bit of a community around this if I can. So Anyway, stay tuned, I guess is all I can say. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this little video. Like I said, just kind of I want to do one of these on a regular basis. This sort of just a general channel update video. Maybe it'll be a weekly thing. Just sort of talking about the actual technical exercise of putting together a YouTube channel and maintaining it, and just talk about things that I'm excited about, that upcoming parts of the project, and also talk about things that I just did. I think it's a good opportunity to sort of give a sort of a general state of the whole channel, and it's a good way to sort of keep people updated. But I don't want to have all of my video be focused around this. So again, I think I'll probably keep it limited to a single update video a week, but then I'll start putting content out as well. And so just keep coming back to the channel. And again, feel free to use my live news feed, which, let me go back to my homepage here. Please come back and check my homepage of my channel. I am going to be I curate this list. I try on a daily basis. I come in here and update. I do actually have a few of the channels, none of the English language ones as far as I know, but some of the non-English ones, their streaming isn't, even though they do stream 24/7, they do it in a way that the individual video links stop working at some point. So I usually have to come in every day or two and do a bit of a tidy up on some of those that have terminated to find the updated video link and keep this thing. But this is a curated live list, so please, this is kind of the big product of the channel right now, and if you're interested in following the news around the world and so on, please come back here and keep checking this playlist, because I update and we'll be addressing my updates to this as well on an ongoing basis. So in addition, like I said, I'm going to update these as well. I think I'm going to rework this as well this week and just add in the other news sources. So the United States, there's a whole bunch of other news sources I'm going to throw in here. The advantage I found about doing this, having these individual sections, that these aren't actual subscriptions for me. These are just, it's essentially like a bookmark tab. So I can create all of these, I can add in a whole bunch of related YouTube channels in this in these sections according to the individual section types that I try and create here. But their videos, if I'm not subscribed to those channels, when I go to my subscription page, their videos won't show up, which is nice. So I can actually really I can still keep direct links to a lot of the mainstream media on YouTube without having it cluttering up my subscription feed, just mostly because I do find there's some channels that I just don't want to follow on a regular basis, because out of the percentage of quality videos that they produce, there's a much larger percentage of just fluff and trivial. And I'm trying to keep my subscription feed here to be sort of the most important news. That's my goal. It's not ever going to be perfect, just because the whole YouTube sorting algorithm isn't perfect. But like I said, this is sort of a little experiment for myself. But I'll keep sharing my results and findings as I go along. I'll probably, if I don't put a video about this whole subscription feed and curating your subscription feed this week, I'll work on it next week. But we'll see. Maybe that's something I'll also get to this week. Anyway, I'm going to cut that off here, but thank you very much for tuning in, and I just keep checking back this week. I'm going to try and keep putting videos up. I'm going to try, my target for this week is a video a day, so keep checking back, and we will talk to you later on this week. Thank you.